What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Logisticalstyles coming at you with another video. And today we are going to get back into the tutorial. I'm going to be talking about the double up technique. And this is something that comes back from my turntable history. This is the stuff that I grew up doing and the tricks that I brought along with me and when I started digital DJing. And it's actually a lot easier to do now that you have software involved, because you can get your instant copies of the same record. And in the old days when you did this technique, you had to have two physical copies of the same record, and you have to line them up and get them at the same position, and then you could do the double up technique. But I'm going to show you how to do that. First, how to use instant doubles and Serato to get your duplicate copies lined up at the same position, and then also how to use just a simple baby scratch to get yourself lined up for the trick mixing of doubling up. And you may not know what I'm talking about when I say doubling up, but this is something that you've probably heard a lot when you listen to the radio or you listen to other DJs mixes. It's a very common technique, and I'll give you a quick example of it right now. What I just did right there was I doubled up. I'll show you that in a second. Both records going at the same speed, at the same position. So that was the technique right there. Basically what I did was I had the songs lined up. I did a baby scratch, got this deck one beat behind that deck, because I didn't baby scratch on that deck, so that deck continued to play. This one got pulled back by one bar, and then I used the crossfader to just preview this deck on each hit. So each hit or kick, snare, whatever, hit first on here, and then I reverted back to that deck. So it was not necessarily, it was the opposite of an echo. You can actually do this by going backwards as well, but it sounds better and it's more popularly done when you are doing a preview or a double up. So what I'm doing is, the first way that you can do instant doubles is using the laptop. So when you have two songs going at different positions, and you want to line them up, instant doubles is something. Well, first let's go into our settings, because I believe it's something you have to turn on in settings in Serato. So let's go to the gear and let's check, I believe, right here on song load under the DJ preferences tab. Come down here, you have to check your instant doubles. It's not a feature that's turned on by default. You have to go ahead and turn that on. There's some other features that you might want to look into and play around with to see how they actually fit into your workflow, but make sure your instant doubles is on if you want to do what I'm doing in this video. So here we got this song right here. It's playing, and I get this record playing, this deck playing, but it's at a different position in the song. If you're on the laptop, you can just highlight the song that is playing on the deck you want to double, and just hit shift and your arrow key, and that will make it match up on the other deck. So now they're both playing at the same speed and at the same position. Another way to do instant doubles is if you have a Numark scratch. Really any Serato enabled mixer. The only Serato enabled mixer that I could think of that did not have instant double was a mixer that didn't have any buttons on it whatsoever for controlling Serato, and that was the Pioneer DJ S3, the DJ S3. And that mixer is just a very basic bare bones mixer. It doesn't have any pads on it, doesn't have any controls as far as for effects or anything like that. It's actually almost the same price as this mixer, maybe a few bucks cheaper, but that's what makes this mixer so much of a better deal. So anyway, on this mixer, if you want an instant double, you've got this record going, you hit your shift button, and then you double tap the loop encoder knob, which is what you would normally single tap if you want to load a song, but you double tap to get that instant double. And what I love about doing it with the range 12s is that even if you have the deck turned off like I did, when you hit that instant double, the deck automatically starts spinning as if you hit play, which in essence you kind of did because you hit instant double. You told it to play the same exact thing as that deck. So that's a cool thing about it. There are other mixers, like even small mixers like the Akai AMX, they have dedicated load buttons for each deck. If you double tap those buttons, it will instant double. So if you double tap your load button, it will instant double. In this case, on the Newmark Scratch, the load button is shift and the loop encoder knob. If you just double tap it, that will instant double. Now the third way is a button that is added to most current Rain equipment, and that would be the instant double button. There's a dedicated button for instant doubles. I really do like this feature for the Rain 12 MK2. I wish it was a part of the MK1, but it's not. But even having it here on this deck makes it a very handy thing to have. The mixers such as the Rain 12, not the Rain 12, but the Rain 70 and the Rain 72, they have dedicated instant double buttons. So that just makes it so much easier. So if you've got a song playing and you just want to instant double, you just do it at the press of a button. Starts it up and they're instantly doubling. So that's instant doubles. That's a quick explanation of it. There's really not too much more to it than that. Just double tap your load button or shift and arrow to instant double from your laptop, or if you have some Rain gear. And I think maybe Pioneer Gear has, like their mixers, they have, not the S3 obviously, but maybe the S7 and the 9 and 11, they have load buttons at least. Just double tap on those and that will get your instant double. So now that you have those songs instant doubled, how do you do that trick mix? Well, what you do is just a baby scratch. What I just did right there was, and then I hit the crossfader over. Baby scratch, throw the crossfader over. Now these songs are one beat apart. This one is ahead. So now that you have them in that position where you can trick mix, double up, chop it up, different terminology that different DJs use depending on what part of the country you come from. And then you baby scratch on out. So that was basically the main gist of it. I spent more time showing you how to get your instant doubles lined up, but once you have it, that you can use that. It's like a skill that I use a lot when I'm DJing, especially with Serato. I have a tendency to prefer one deck over another. I'm left-handed, so I'm usually on my left deck. So oftentimes I'll load a song and then instant double it right over to my weaker hand. It's probably a bad habit if you want to, develop good strength and good skills on both hands. But sometimes when you're in the mix and you just want to, especially if I'm mixing quickly, I need to be able to have my hands used most comfortably. So I need to be having my left hand on my platter, my right hand on my fader, and then just instant double comes in so handy when I'm working like that. Now, another instance when instant doubles comes in really handy is when you only have one deck. Maybe this deck goes bad, it stops working for some reason. I'll simulate that by turning this deck off. And then you'll notice that if I am playing here and I hit that shift instant double, this deck isn't spinning, but because I'm in internal mode over here, I can just throw this on. That song's playing on that deck. Now I can load up another song, something real simple. Move over here, you got this song going, instant double. Song's over there. I can pull this and load up another song. And I can do this all night. I've done this all night, actually. Play there. They're still both playing together. They're lined up. It's the same BPM. instant double. Now I got 2 copies of them going. In this case, because this deck isn't working, I can't baby scratch out of it, so I just land back on that deck, instant double, throw it over there, and then I can find another song to load up. So instant doubling comes in very handy. It allows you to get your decks lined up so you can do that trick mixing of doubling up, and it also allows you to work when you only have one deck, and you can still do a whole party all night long with one deck mainly being used for mixing in and manipulating sounds, instant doubling it over to your virtual deck, which is in internal mode on Serato, and then pick your next song on this deck and just keep going throughout the whole night like that. But to get back to the focus of what I was demonstrating initially was the doubling up, the chopping, and the trick mixing. Let's do it with this new beat that I pulled up. So you got that going. Up, turn the motor on, choose the deck, instant doubles. And this is the last little tidbit for the instant double. This is what I like to call a pump fake. This is like in basketball when you fake like you're gonna shoot and you pull it back and then you do the shot. When you do that with the crossfader, you don't go all the way across, you have a pump fake. That allows you to kind of invert the double up. So watch. This one's ahead. Bap, 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 pump fake. If I pump fake, normally when I'm doing the double up, I'm catching that snare. When I do that pump fake, I end up catching everything that's on the other side of the snare. That's another way of getting out of the double up trick mix, is to do that break, and that will, give you a nice way to slide on out of that technique that you're in. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't want to take up too much time. This is another technique that you can add to your arsenal, something that you can use when you're mixing, making mixtapes, put it in a battle routine, whatever. I mean, it's a really nice way to spice things up, and hopefully you learned something you can try, put into practice. And if you did, I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber, share it, and be on the lookout for more videos. We're going to be putting forth a whole lot more content. It's going to become a lot more rapidly, and hopefully you'll see some really big changes coming to the lab very soon. But until then, I'm Logistical Styles, and I'm out. Peace.